Hello children, hope you are doing fine. Let me ask you some questions children. When do you meet your relatives and friends? During holidays and festivals. Name of your religious festivals. Diwali, Holi, Christmas, Pongal, etc. How do you celebrate these festivals? We burn crackers on Diwali. We play with colors on Holi. We go to church on Christmas and fly kites on Pongal. Where do you fly kites? We fly kites on the terrace or in open places. Whom do you fly kites with? We fly kites with our siblings, friends and parents. Do all kites look same children? No. Kites differ by color and size. Today we shall read a lesson in which a girl and her brother fly kites on apartment's terrace. The name of the lesson is Hasmina's Kite. It is written by Eleanor Watts. Eleanor Watts is a story writer. She wrote many stories for children. She is a teacher and lives in London, UK. She wrote more than 20 stories for primary children. She is a teacher trainer and wrote 15 primary school textbooks for Pakistan. Hasmina's Kite is taken from her Ajanta apartments. Let me tell you the story in brief. Hasmina and Saif lived in Ajanta apartments. They liked kites very much. They went to shop with their father to buy kites. There were so many kites in the market, from which Hasmina picked a red kite with green tail and Saif picked blue kite with yellow tail. They wanted to fly kites the next day on the roof of their apartment's building. The next evening, they went to the roof with their kites. They were very excited. They saw Sharmaji and stopped at the top of the stairs. Sharmaji was their neighbor. Hasmina and Saif were frightened of Sharmaji because of his strange behavior. He was an old man with a bent nose. Sometimes he sat still and closed his eyes. Sometimes he was walking up and down the roof. He sang songs sometimes. By the time Hasmina and Saif reached the roof of Ajanta apartments, there were many people flying kites on the roof and from other apartments too. Hasmina and Saif were very happy to fly kites. Their kites looked lovely. Sharmaji was also on the terrace. The Skyline Apartments was just beside Ajanta Apartments. There was a tall boy with a black kite on Skyline Apartments terrace. Sharmaji stopped walking and watched the tall boy's black kite. The tall boy tried to cut Saif's kite with his kite. Saif's kite fell down and he started to cry. Sharmaji came near Saif and asked them if he could help something. The tall boy wanted to cut Hasmina's kite too, but Sharmaji helped Hasmina by pulling her kite away from the tall boy's kite, and he helped her in cutting tall boy's string. In this way, Sharmaji helped Hasmina and Saif. After this, Hasmina and Saif have become good friends with Sharmaji. They were very happy after this, and Sharmaji taught these two children how to fly kites. They have become good in flying kites now. Sometimes we feel frightened when we see strangers, but we may not know that they are good or bad. Some people look very friendly, but they may cheat. We should not judge a book by seeing its cover. So, we must not judge a person by seeing his outward appearance. Let's read the lesson now, children. The name of the lesson is Hasmina's Kite. This is lesson number 4. Open your English reader, children, page number 28. As I read, place your right hand index finger on the line I am reading. Now, let us read the lesson, children. Are you all on page 28? Here you can see beautiful kites. In page 29, you can see two pictures. First picture, tall boy with a black kite traveling Saif. And in the second picture, Sharmaji was helping Saif and Hasmina from Tall Boy's Naughty Things. Now, place your index finger on the first line, children. As I read, you keep moving your finger. Lesson number 4, Hasmina's Kite. Hasmina and Saif lived in Ajanta apartments. They liked kites. They went to a shop with their father. "Which kite would you like?" asked Hasmina's father. "I'd like a red kite with a green tail, please," said Hasmina. "I'd like a blue kite with yellow tail, please," said Saif. "Where can we fly our kites?" asked Hasmina. "When can we fly them?" asked Saif. "You can fly your kites tomorrow," their father replied. "You can go to the roof of our apartment building." The next evening, Hasmina and Saif went to the roof. They took their kites. At the top of the stairs, they stopped. Sharmaji was on the roof. They were frightened of him. Frightened means scared. Sharmaji was an old man with a bent nose. Sometimes he wore black glasses. Sometimes Sharmaji sat still and closed his eyes. Sometimes he sang songs. Now Sharmaji was walking up and down the roof. Many people were flying kites at Ajanta apartments and from the roofs of other buildings. Hasmina's and Saif's kites flew in the wind. They looked lovely. There was a tall boy on the roof of Skyline Apartments. He had a black kite. Sharmaji stopped walking. He watched the black kite. Suddenly, the black kite came near Saif's kite. The tall boy laughed. "I'll cut down your kite," he called. "Go away," shouted Saif. "Please don't cut down my kite." But the black kite cut Saif's string. The blue and yellow kite fell down. Saif started to cry. Just then, Saif felt a hand on his head. It was Sharmaji. "Can I help?" he asked. "I'm good at flying kites." Hasmina gave her kite to Sharmaji. The tall boy's kite came near Hasmina's kite. The tall boy laughed. "Oh dear, he'll cut down my kite," cried Hasmina. Turn the page, children. "No, he won't," said Sharmaji. The black kite turned. The red kite turned. The tall boy stopped laughing. "Pull," called Sharmaji. Hasmina and Sharmaji pulled the string together. Suddenly, the black kite started to fall. The children cheered. Sharmaji became a good friend. The children became good at flying kites. This way, Sharmaji helped Hasmina and Saif from the tall boy's kite. Thank you, children.